Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy October something. Is it the 18th today? I think so. We are cruising through this month. Happy Mariah Monday. Hey, I learned something new last week. Want to know what I learned? I learned that, Mariah Carey has those crazy high, like cat screeching notes that she does. And it's actually called something. If you didn't know that, it's called a whistle register. There's lots of different registers in your voice. There's like your chest voice, there's your falsetto, and then there's one above it called the whistle register. And it's very rare to be able to have it and then control it and actually use it to sing. Mariah Carey certainly has it. Ariana Grande is another one who has it. Other than that, not too many people can sing up in that whistle register, but in case you were wondering, it's actually called something, and it's like a real thing. So there's your useless fact of the day or the week or the month. See how you can use that, work that into a conversation this week, and let me know next week how you've succeeded in doing that. All right, so, it's been a long time since we heard from a friend of mine. It's been a long time since we had an opening little chuckle video, and even longer since we've heard from my friend Ellen. So I thought today, just because, we should actually take a minute and revisit my good friend Ellen. If I can remember where she is. There she is. Okay.
We have some web videos, and a couple of them we have a theme going. It's a treadmill, and this is something that these cats seem to very, very much enjoy, just on their own, getting a little exercise. I want to get on there too. All right. She just keeps adding. She likes it. They like it. They like it. Oh, they like it. Look at that cat go. All right. Now, the cats have no problem with that at all. Here are two girls trying to do something on a treadmill. That doesn't look promising. All right. Let's look at the cats again. Yeah, the cats have it figured out.
All righty. So between the cats and the girls, got to give it to the cats. Thank you, Ellen, for that this morning. So a couple of quick announcements for you. It is Business Planning Week. Woohoo! Anybody else excited? I know I'm excited. Gene Rivers, likely who ranks up there as one of the best instructors out there, regardless of what it is he's teaching, is going to spend both Wednesday and Thursday afternoon with you. Just for some clarity, it's not an either or, it is both days. It's Wednesday and Thursday from 1 until 5 each afternoon. Instead of having one big, long 8-hour Zoom day, they decided to break it up and give you a break. So that's 1 until 5 this Wednesday and Thursday, the 20th and 21st. However, as you know, if you decide to start at 12 noon, you get lunch. So we're really encouraging you to come on into your market center locations. We'll be hosting watch parties at 404 Main Street in Richfield and 2777 Summer Street in Stamford. Choose one of those locations and come on down for 12 noon for some lunch on us, and then stick around for the afternoon. Hey, and here's the thing: if you rather not be in one of the larger rooms with a whole bunch of other people, just let us know that. We'll find a smaller space for you, and we'd still love you to come in and enjoy lunch with your colleagues. And if you want to kind of sequester yourself someplace private, we will figure that out and find someplace private for you. We'd much rather see you and accommodate you rather than not see you at all. So a big push for Wednesday and Thursday, Business Planning Clinic. If we're not going to see you, just be certain that you're on KW Connect at 1 o'clock. I will show you on Wednesday morning, right on this call, exactly where to go to find that business planning clinic, so you have no issues there. So that's Business Planning Clinic. Today you have 9:30 Business Builders with Debbie. This week is going to be focused on calling your database, right? This week for the Sign In to Win event is an outreach to your database, right? You received the folks in your database who had already signed up in an email with a link last Thursday. If you didn't see that, it came to you from an email address called KW Sign In. So it might have been missed. So go back and check that on Thursday. You got the list of the people that had registered for you so that you could start reaching out, because some of the folks need to be reached out to before the 29th. This is a perfect week to do that. Dive in with Debbie today through Thursday to make sure that gets done. And then of course, 1 o'clock today, we will have our open house class, open houses, success with open houses. We're going to focus on 3 things, guys. We're going to focus on strategy, process, and follow-up. So if you're interested in figuring out how to make open houses pay you over the course of the next few months, tune in today, 1 o'clock, strategy, process, and follow-up around open houses to make sure that you're making money. Quickly for tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we do have, Debbie, can you just unmute real quick and tell us what we have at 3 o'clock? I know Stephen Gindel is going to join us, but tell me what he's doing.
So I want to help everyone get some clarity around the consumer applications on command. So between neighborhood nurtures, saved searches, and the actual consumer app, we're going to talk about when it's appropriate to use which and how they can build your business.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. And Steve Scott, you want to just unmute real quick for Career Night 5:30?
Yeah, sure. Career Night is tomorrow, Tuesday, a little bit of a different day for us than normal, but it's tomorrow, 5:30 in this Zoom room.
Excellent. And Jen Hen, you want to unmute and just talk, remind us about tomorrow at 11?
Yep, tomorrow at 11, I'll be teaching a class on what it takes to become a real estate coach. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much. So much going on. An awesome week. So do avail yourself of as much of that as you need to make sure that you are filling your cup. All right. So I wanted to speak with you this morning. I know it's Mindset Monday, or Mariah Monday as today was, but Mindset Monday, I want to take a short pivot off of Mindset Monday and talk with you about something that's popping up more and more frequently that is of concern to me. And so I wanted to make sure that you were aware of it, because it's come up at least 3 times in the last few months. And that is the idea of, so let me ask this, let's take a half a step back. Probably one of the most frequent questions I get when you guys are writing contracts, or you're the listing agents and you're receiving contracts, is what's binding about these forms? Which forms are binding, which aren't? How binding are they? What happens when somebody gets another offer after they've signed a specific form, right? And as you all know, my advice to you is always the same. And it's always to give the advice to the seller client in that scenario to go and speak to their attorney, right? Because we're not attorneys. If someone signed a document, we're not in a position to interpret that document and give them legal advice. Well, unfortunately, that's been backfiring on us a little bit. And I want to just tell you the latest one. I'll give you the short version of the story and then talk with you about how I think we can assist in moving this forward. The document that has become more and more prevalent in Fairfield County in the last 12 months is that standard 4-page contract, right? There are some of you on this call that prior to 12 months ago, when the market started to become a rocket ship ride, didn't even know there was a 4-page contract, right? That you could actually do a fill in the blank. Remember, the entire rest of the state uses that as the form. They look at our purchase agreements or our offers to purchase, some of the other forms that we have been using for a long time in Fairfield County, and they look at that and think, okay, is that like play real estate? You know, I don't understand. What are you doing? Right? And so the rest of the state has used that document exclusively for a really long time. In the last 12 months, that has become more and more of a document we're seeing in in Fairfield County because it seems to have more bite. It seems to hold people in place a little bit more. It seems to make buyers more responsible to stick in the deal. It makes sellers more responsible to perform. And yet, there are times where one of our sellers accepts a contract, right, a 4-page contract, signs that sucker, and then a day later gets another offer. And in this latest version of this, the offer was substantially higher. It was $50,000 higher, right? And so the conversation was had. Listing agent to seller, please connect with your attorney. Seller connects with attorney. Attorney says, you know what, don't worry about it. I'll just call the other attorney and let them know that you're accepting another offer. That call was made. The other offer was accepted. Well, the first offer said, well, you know what? I don't accept that. I don't think that's right. And I don't think that's what we're going to do. And they really dug their heels in to the point that they went and recorded their signed contract on the land records, which now creates a cloud on title. So now you have an issue of passing title, right, to the new people to try and force the second offer's or the seller's hand in going back to them. The second offer is now continuing down the path, spending money on this house that they think they have. Do you see the nightmare that this is all causing, right? And so let me just tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you what I think we can do about it. In that scenario, after a week or so of back and forth and arguments and trying to figure out who was going to do what, the second offer decided to back away with some sort of compensation and payout from the sellers because they had spent time, effort, and money, so that the sellers could go back and sell it to the first people for $50,000 less money, plus whatever expenses they covered for the second offer. Now, in this scenario, many of you know there's a 5-day attorney review period built into that standard form contract, right? It's paragraph 8 at the bottom of page 1, which says either party can cancel a contract within 5 days of everyone signing for any reason. It's the attorney review period. It goes to the attorneys. The attorney simply puts the other attorney on notice in writing. That's what it says in paragraph 8, in writing. Now, in this last scenario, the attorney made a phone call, didn't put it in writing. And so when the other attorney recognized that now, after the 5 days had gone by, he got the phone call within the 5 days, but nothing came in writing in those 5 days, regardless of the legal outcome of adjudicating that scenario, because one could argue that within the 5-day period of time, the first folks came back and made a big stink. So clearly they were notified, right? And yet what happened was the attorney and the first buyers felt empowered because somebody didn't follow exactly to the letter of what was supposed to happen, that notification process. And so they just thought, we're going to make a big stink about this and see if we can win, which they did. Here's the issue. The loser in this whole scenario is the seller. In this particular scenario, to the tune of $50,000+. Now, this is not a judgment about attorneys, right? What it is a conversation that says, here's how we can help the attorneys out. What I believe is happening is that attorneys in Fairfield County are simply not used to having to follow the letter of what that contract says. That doesn't mean they don't know what it says. It doesn't mean that they're incompetent in any way. They're just not used to the teeth that 4-page contract has. And so they're giving advice as if it were a different document and not really paying close enough attention or being a little bit casual around that 4-page document. And that is creating issues. We had another one just a few months ago that actually the people who lost filed a lawsuit. We had one just before that ended up kind of like this one I just talked about. So in the last 4 months, 3 times is enough for me to come to you guys and say, you know what? We need to make sure that we're creating some kind of a safety net in these scenarios. I still stand by our advice to our sellers of going to their attorney and asking advice. However, I think we need to arm them with some questions. I think we need to help the sellers have the conversation with the attorney. The best way I know how to do that is to have a three-way conversation, right? Put all three of you on a Zoom call or all three of you on a conference call and have the conversation so that you can be saying, so, I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention, in my brokerage, we've had a bunch of real big issues pop up in the last couple of months when these things were done. So, and one of them was because proper notification wasn't given, right, on the rescission of the contract. So let's just make sure that we're doing, if this is the advice, let's make sure we're dotting I's and crossing T's. That's not you overstepping your bounds. That's just you creating a safety net. The other version of safety net in a scenario like that is be really clear about what the attorney is saying to the other attorney and how that's being communicated, and do a follow-up. I would do a follow-up agent to agent, right? Let the attorney give the notice at the attorney level, and then you do something in writing, an email or a text to the other agent that says, hey, based on the attorney's conversations of earlier today, please note that the sellers within their 5-day attorney review period are retracting their acceptance of your client's offer and moving in a different direction. Again, something to that effect, so that we have, even if the attorneys miss it, we could then go to the safety net, which you've created, to say, well, minimally, this is how notification was given in writing. Does that make sense to everybody? I know it sounds like now we're looking to do the attorney's job, and that's not really what I mean. But I think that as a team of players in this in these transactions, we need to have each other's backs, right? I promise that as things start to slow down, attorneys will get a little less busy. They won't be quite as casual. Remember, the three attorneys I'm talking about, they're all attorneys that you know. They're all attorneys that we use. They're all competent people that just got a little bit casual around a document that they don't use very often, and frankly, that they don't like. So there's a little bit of a negative attitude about the contract form for a lot of Fairfield County attorneys. That's not an excuse to not practice good law, right? And protect the client, especially when it costs the client $50K. And yet we can step up and support them and support our clients by having additional conversations in writing that mimic what's going on at the attorney level. That, my friends, is my update for you today, right? I appreciate your time as always. Lots of great things happening this week. Have a spectacular day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.